spare a thought for our Prime Minister, because it's going to be such a tough day for him, he actually started the weekend with a media grilling about the support in his own caucus after a poll came out on Friday that had some bad numbers, where ironically he stood in front of a butcher talking about how he wasn't about to be knifed in the back. Then he had the poll come out on Sunday night from One News, which also was not great. And Monday, he has to do the media rounds, including facing Tova O'Brien after the disastrous One News poll. But don't worry, he keeps saying he doesn't worry about polls, while also pointing out that they don't matter, because the coalition would still get in. Which means he does look at the polls after all and give them some consideration and think that they do matter. And of course, the One News poll didn't say that they're going to have that majority this time round. It said quite the opposite. So today he faces the media rounds, and other than his buddy Mike Hosking, I'm sure those are not going to be enjoyable for him. Oh well, and I say this all the time, okay? The polls are great for headlines and drama and clicks, but generally the important data sets that they give us are actually the trends. So I've now updated our poll aggregate over at election2026.co.nz with the latest data sets. And because we've had two polls in such quick succession, it actually shifts things around a bit in terms of averages. The biggest change to the averages, though, is that the most recent non-Curia polling aggregates give us a three-party coalition on the left with more than enough seats to govern. But adding the Curia data actually shifts everything to the right, and that poll's base assumptions that Te Pāti Māori don't win a seat shapes things really differently in their outcomes. As part of this upgrade, I've also added in a primary issues meter as well, which uses poll data on what voters are most concerned with to identify the areas that they're wanting to know more about going into this election, which is, as of the time this video comes out, just 200 days away, unless there's a Thanos-like snap election that happens. But you can check all of that out at election2026.co.nz. I also use the new results to update a few other elements on the page. I've added more entries to the mailbag, awful or stupid comments from people who are voting for the current coalition, and will hopefully make you ask if you really want to be like them. Like this one, where they say people like me ruined the country almost beyond repair because I'm so smug and arrogant while being the most woman-raised, weak and spiteful person on the planet. That's right, misogynists seem to really love the coalition. Also, yeah, fuck, I love my mum. Don't be a dick. I hope you love your mum too. I don't know how she loves somebody like you being such a misogynist, but, well, that's why mums are awesome. Anyway, he goes on to vilify sci-fi as well, which, is a dick move. But do you know who doesn't do that? Dr. Lawrence Yunnan, who is the first guest on my new series, Now, or Nerd Out With, which is going to be out in time for Armageddon this weekend, where we discuss all things nerdy, and there's some previews there already online if you're a paid subscriber to the YouTube channel. Sorry, I digress, that's not what this video is about. It's about the website update. Okay, so part of the website update also includes an updated fact check section, taking a look at the recycled, debunked claims from the coalition. Like where they get their numbers on crime reduction, for example, or like how Nicola Willis last term said governments shouldn't skip select committee processes because it's undemocratic. But this government now holds the record for most bills to go through without select committee process or under urgency. Or Prime Minister, at the time of recording this, Christopher Luxon, bringing out the old lie about Labour giving millions to the mongrel mob, when it was actually a fully audited and authorised drug rehab program designed and run by addiction experts and facilitated by a consultancy that had a 92% success rate that was praised by the police and people advocating for helping gang members turn their lives around as a massive success, paid for by the proceeds of the Crimes Fund, taken from gangs, not paid for from tax revenue. And there's also a whole section full of graphs now, okay? So you can see how life has become harder and more expensive under the coalition laser focused on reducing the cost of living before giving money to landlords and tobacco companies and setting up useless road cone hotlines while your food bill skyrocketed and your average household income growth plummeted. So yeah, heaps to look at while you're waiting to find out if the Prime Minister will still be sorted and entitled by the end of the day, or while you check your enrolment details. There's 200 days till the election, but international voting starts well before that, and so does advance voting, and you need to be enrolled to be able to do either of those. So please go and check those details before you head to the website and get all the data. Oh, hey there, podcast listeners. Thanks for checking out today's podcast, whether that's on video or audio. I really appreciate it. And I did finally get around to doing a podcast end tag, which I've been meaning to do for a while instead of just taking you onto the Facebook version. So while you're here, why not hit that subscribe button so that you can get updates coming in directly every time there's a new episode uploaded. just seems like a really simple way to keep up to date with all of the crazy that's going on. So, yeah, give that a shot, and I'll talk to you soon.